I made my family disappear. Hello.
No Christmas movie beats the 1990 classic Home Alone, directed by Chris Columbus. It still dominates TV screens in the United States, and while others try, none match its greatness. What sets Home Alone apart is its emotional scenes, which tug at our hearts. Here are 10 times the movie touched us deeply. Home Alone hit screens 32 years ago, but it's still a beloved holiday classic. Now, I know what you're thinking. I've seen that movie a million times. What could I possibly have missed? Well, my friends, get ready to be mind-blown because we've got the things you probably didn't catch in Home Alone. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, do me a solid favor. Hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and let's get into it. The movie was written in a little over a week. John Hughes, known for blockbuster films like The Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, and 16 Candles, wrote the initial draft of the Home Alone screenplay in just 9 days. His son, James, wrote in a Chicago Magazine article that the film stemmed from Hughes' traveler's anxiety after a family trip to Europe. Hughes explained in a 1990 interview with Time magazine that the idea came to him while making a vacation checklist and pondering, what if I left my 10-year-old son at home? What would he do? For almost 3 decades, the movie held a record in the world of cinema. According to Forbes, Home Alone held the record for the highest total in a single territory for a live-action comedy, earning $285.7 million until 2017. The record lasted for 27 years until it was surpassed by the Chinese film Never Say Die. However, Home Alone remains one of the top-grossing live-action comedies in the US. Kevin's sister insults him in French, using a word that's the same in English. Before leaving for France without Kevin, his siblings and cousins keep making fun of him. While he's packing, one of his sisters says he's what the French call les incompetents. Linny might have been practicing her basic French before the Paris trip, but saying les incompetents just means the incompetent ones. It's not as cool as she thinks, even though it confuses Kevin. Mr. McAllister tosses a passport and plane ticket after cleaning up spilled milk. On the night before Kevin's family trip, there's chaos with everyone packing and finalizing plans. When Kevin spills milk, Mr. McAllister cleans up, accidentally tossing a passport and likely a plane ticket. This detail cleverly explains how no one noticed Kevin wasn't on the plane. Kevin's sister's head count seems right because she counted a neighbor instead of Kevin. Before heading to the airport, Kevin's older cousin does a head count of her siblings and cousins. In the rush, she accidentally includes a neighbor boy climbing into the van. This mistake makes the count right, even though Kevin is still asleep in the attic. Home Alone's success inspired a verb. In Hollywood lingo, being home alone, as coined by William Goldman, means a movie's financial success is affected by the unexpected and ongoing success of another film. Chris Columbus chose to direct Home Alone instead of Christmas Vacation. Chris Columbus had a dream of directing a Christmas movie and was initially set to direct National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. However, a less than pleasant encounter with Chevy Chase changed his mind. Columbus shared that Chevy treated him poorly, saying, "There's no way I can do this movie." So, when the opportunity to direct Home Alone arose, Columbus jumped at it instead. Kevin's dad really did forget to close the garage. Once the McAllisters are on the plane, Kevin's mom feels like she forgot something. Mr. McAllister reassures her, admitting he forgot to close the garage door, which indeed happened. Even though there were many plants in the house, Kevin's parents didn't arrange for someone to water them. Kevin's house has plants in various rooms, like the dining room and kitchen. Surprisingly, nobody arranged for someone to water them before the family left for their trip. If they had thought of hiring a neighbor for plant care, it could have been a solution to help Kevin when he was left home alone. When Kevin looks at the Playboy magazine, it seems like the pages are stuck together. While snooping around his family's stuff, Kevin discovers a Playboy magazine in Buzz's room. When he opens it, the pages seem stuck together. The prop was reportedly a real 1989 Playboy edition, and rumor has it the crew taped the pages so that Macaulay Culkin, who played Kevin, wouldn't encounter any inappropriate content during filming. Kevin's parents left a gingerbread house on the counter. In some kitchen scenes, you can spot a decorated gingerbread house on the counter. It's a bit strange to leave it unattended during a long trip, much like the plants. Kevin's mom, Kate, even reminded everyone to finish the milk the night before, so it's not like she didn't notice perishable items in the house. The movie Kevin watches and re-watches isn't an actual film. In Home Alone, Kevin repeatedly watches a black and white movie called Angels with Filthy Souls, and cleverly uses it in his plan against the Wet Bandits. Despite looking authentic and having iconic lines, the movie is actually fake. The scenes were created specifically for Home Alone. The spilled popcorn Kevin makes is visible under the bed when he hides there later on. After discovering he's home alone, Kevin has a blast running around the house, even jumping on his parents' bed with popcorn. When he hides under the bed to avoid a police officer later, you can see the popcorn scattered on the floor from his earlier fun. The mannequins Kevin uses to trick the Wet Bandits were initially in the basement when he first went down there. When Kevin initially goes into the basement, he passes by some mannequins and storage items. Later on, he uses these mannequins cleverly, setting them up by the windows to fool the Wet Bandits into thinking there are adults in the house. The name Wet Bandits has multiple meanings. The burglars, Marv and Harry, are known as the Wet Bandits. Marv mentions the name comes from their habit of flooding the houses they rob. Additionally, the nickname might be a nod to them using a plumbing van for their heists. Kevin has an excessive amount of towels in his bathroom. Kevin's bathroom is filled with around 20 green towels while he showers and does his hair. It's understandable with many people around that there are used towels drying, but there are also clean ones neatly stacked on shelves. Since the McAllister's house is big, there might be more bathrooms, making the excessive amount of towels even more surprising. Statue in front of the house keeps getting knocked over. The airport shuttle driver, police officer, and pizza delivery person all accidentally knock over the statue near McAllister's driveway. The pizza delivery guy even hits it again when delivering pizza to Kevin. One of the robbers can be heard swearing in a scene. Home Alone is rated PG, but there's a scene where one of the robbers, Marv, quietly says "shit" when he loses his shoe in the dog door. You can see this in the movie's subtitles. The pizza place's name is likely a play on a well-known chain. The pizza place shown in the movie is called Little Nero's, similar to the famous pizza chain Little Caesars. While it's not a real restaurant, both have Roman-themed mascots, drawing a connection to Julius Caesar and Nero. The pizzeria's tagline, "No fiddlin' around," is a clever joke referencing the legend that Nero fiddled while Rome burned. Even though Kevin creates a great battle plan, he misspells ornaments. Kevin's plans and traps to outsmart the robbers in the movie are really clever. However, he still misspells ornaments on his battle plan, serving as a reminder that he's only 8 years old. The ornaments Kevin puts under the window don't match the other decorations on the tree. Kevin sets a trap for the robbers by placing ornaments under a window. The tree decorations are shaped like candy canes, presents, and 2D stars, but the ornaments on the floor that Marv steps on are more colorful and differently shaped. To avoid injuries, the floor ornaments were made of candy, and the actor, Daniel Stern, wore rubber feet for safety, according to Mental Floss. Mr. Marley's hand gets better as he reconciles with his son. At the start of the movie, Old Man Marley scares Kevin with his bandaged hand. As the story unfolds, Kevin discovers the rumors about him aren't true and that Mr. Marley is estranged from his son and granddaughter, a plotline added by director Chris Columbus. When Kevin and Mr. Marley talk later, the large white bandage on his hand is replaced with a smaller tan one. By the end of the film, as he reconciles with his son, his hand is fully healed. Finding the perfect house for the movie took several weeks. Chris Columbus and his crew spent weeks searching for the right house for Home Alone, as reported by Entertainment Weekly. They ultimately selected a house in Winnetka, Illinois, because they felt it had a warm yet menacing quality. Columbus shared that when he sent pictures to John, the producer, he received the response, "This is perfect. This is exactly how I imagined the house." Years later, Culkin and his on-screen mom had a touching moment together. In a 2015 interview on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, Catherine O'Hara shared a heartwarming moment with Culkin. She mentioned meeting him at a Martin Mull art opening after not seeing him for years. Culkin called her Mommy, and she affectionately responded with Baby. O'Hara happily noted that they took a picture, and she was glad to see him. Home Alone is one of the funniest movies ever, and made a ton of money. Home Alone has raked in an impressive $476.7 million to date. That's a massive achievement, especially for a comedy, as humor often doesn't cross borders well. Smacking burglars with paint cans, though, that's a language everyone understands. While The Hangover Part 2 did slightly better with $586 million, the success of Home Alone, a straightforward $18 million project, is truly remarkable for a non-animated, non-musical family film. And there you have it, the top things you missed about Home Alone. If there's a puzzling movie that you think should be on our list but isn't, please share it in the comments. And, as always, if you want to be the first to know about all the exciting content in store, make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. Until next time, keep the holiday spirit alive, stay cozy, and as always, I'll catch you